enjoy.
All right, everybody, welcome. Good evening. Woo! That's like the loudest I can be. All right. Thank you for coming. A lot of you have been to these meetings before. This one is for our bylaws, annual meetings. We've decided for one, it's special because we have our candidates here to introduce themselves for our next CNA board. And for another, we'll just do a little bit of a recap. But first, if you have not been to, whose first time to prom? Very cool. That's awesome. So, if you'd like to say a couple words.
Okay. My name is Beth. I'm one of the owners of Prom. We are open Monday through Saturday 6 to 5, and then Sunday 7 to 5. We do all our own roasting, and we want to be your neighborhood coffee shop. So please keep supporting us, and we'll keep supporting you.
Thank you for your generosity.
Personally, I have the salt lick. It's like salted chocolate coffee drink, so I recommend it. Yeah. All right, and then we're gonna change up the order a little bit because we do have our next speaker, and I'm sure he's got a busy night ahead of him, and probably doesn't want to sit through elections, and he's not eligible. So I would like to invite Patrick. He's our new neighborhood specialist, neighborhood liaison assigned to our area. He will be a great resource for us.
You found that picture, thank you. It's kind of funny you said elections for 11 years now. When I was a teacher, I was the co-sponsor of Student Council Lives. I have been through more election speeches, more campaign speeches, so it'll be great to see some adults in the room with their campaign speeches later. Really quick, my name is Patrick McDaniel. I'm the District 4 Neighborhood Services Specialist. I work for the Neighborhood Services Department. We are the youngest department within the city of Phoenix, about 30 years old. Just as the name implies, our job is to strengthen, assist, and to help neighborhoods. That can range from what I'm doing right now to working with neighborhood groups. For District 4, District 4 has the most neighborhood groups, has the most established neighborhood groups, and some of the longest tenured, longest serving groups. District 4 also has some groups that are just starting out. We're starting to see some really great activity, maybe 25th, 27th Avenue, Thomas, over in that area. So we're starting to see neighbors that really want to have a hand in what goes on in their neighborhood. So my job is to assist all groups, wherever they may be in that journey, in that stage. It can be from starting a group, working with groups that are super well established like you guys, or other groups that maybe, we've been at this for 3 or 4 years, we need kind of a re-inspiration to help us kind of figure things out. So that's something that neighborhood services do. That's a good chunk of my time. Neighborhood services, we also work at preserving neighborhoods. We do about 200,000 inspections a year. That ranges from, non-dust-proof parking to weeds in the yard to alley maintenance, things like that. So our job is to just those quality of life issues you see in the neighborhood. That's really what we focus on. I'm a big believer in, little things matter. Little things add up to big things. Sometimes not big things that are great. So it's our job as neighborhood specialists to lead with education, to lead with information, and to really help people, be good neighbors, to follow the ordinance, the codes that apply to them in their community. Each city council district has a neighborhood specialist. This specialist position was vacant for about a year. I believe it was about 8 months. There were numerous specialists throughout the city. Everybody kind of had a corner of it. Previous to this role, I worked for Downtown Phoenix Community Alliance. I was the advocacy director, so I spent a fair amount of time at City Hall, worked with planning, development, streets. Everything at some point will come back to streets when you're dealing with the city. It will. Spent a fair amount of time working with them. I live right across the 10th Street Bridge in Garfield, so I live right there. My best friends live on Brill, right behind here. so I'm very familiar with this area. I was on the Midtown board, also the Evans Churchill board, so I'm very familiar with how neighborhood groups work, the challenges, the strengths that some of them may have. So really, like I said, think of me as a resource. My job is to help you be successful, to have a neighborhood that you want to live in, that you want to be proud of. As I mentioned, being a former teacher, I have been asked everything in the planet. There is nothing that you can ask me that might throw me for a loop or be kind of strange. So if you just don't know where to start sometimes, if you're just, who do I begin to ask about this? Reach out to me. We will figure it out. Neighborhood services, we also do housing rehabilitation for people that are in need of assistance with their housing. That's kind of a separate division, but it's also something to do that's kind of near and dear to my heart. So neighborhood services, kind of in summary, it's kind of a catch-all sometimes. It encompasses a lot of quality of life issues, enforcement, working with neighborhood groups, and just preserving and strengthening neighborhoods. Really quick, I gave you guys the See Something, Say Something sheet right here. If you look down at the bottom, right there in the center, Patrick McDaniel, that's me. Reach out to me by email. Just reach out to me. I will get back to you that day, the next day. As I kind of live in the world of a former teacher, I still kind of have a thing in my head about parents emailing me. Just email me. I will get back to you. I promise I will. Okay. We have our important things right here for encampments. If you happen to see homeless encampments, it's right there in the center. My Phoenix 311 right there. Report it. That'll go to Phoenix Cares. Graffiti Blight Beats Hearts. Reach out to that number right there or that email and report these things. These little things add up. We have Parks Code of Conduct with Coronado Parks. You can just, the heart and soul of your neighborhood, frankly. Reach out about those right there. Bus stop complaints, we have that. Our Phoenix Care Specialist is Pam Jones. She works north of McDowell. She's the best there is. I work with her hand in hand to help resolve these issues. Like I said, our goal is to lead the services to help people out as much as we can. That's residents, that's people passing through the neighborhood. We have the staff from Council Pastor's office here. We work with them daily. I work with them daily. I'm not part of the council staff, but I work with them daily. And so we're always in communication with each other. At the end of the day, it's about taking care of people, taking care of residents. That's what I'm here to do. So reach out to me with anything I can help you with. One last thing, and I'll leave this on the table, is right now, literally as we speak, there is the Midtown Core Transportation Study group meeting going on, the very first meeting. So you can pass it around if you want, but if you just Google that, it'll pop right up. This is a study that will help determine it's a little bit misleading. When you think Midtown, you think a little bit further north. It's broader than that. So don't let the name throw you off. It still does apply to you as residents in the Coronado neighborhood. This will help shape transportation in Phoenix. We know that the reversible lanes are big issues, but it's beyond that. It's further beyond that. So is there any questions I can kind of help you with right now off the top of your head? We also do the gated alley program. That's us. So if you ever need assistance with that, reach out to us. We can take care of that. But if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them right now. I'll hang out back for a few minutes. But you have my email right there. Reach out to me for anything you need. I will help you get it resolved. All right? Thank you.
Thank you. I have a quick question while we get set on up here. You said gated alleys.
Correct.
What about taking back the alley to the property? Is that correct? Taking back that like 5 foot on either side of the alley. Being in the middle and instead of your yards. Instead of having. We haven't figured it
That
out.
would require the easement.
That would require each property owner to sign off on that, and then it's a really complicated process. There's utilities that run to the alley, so the city's gonna go back and forth with you on that. I will say, work on our website, people already do that without the city's permission. But it's a pretty big problem. There's a way to do it. I can get you started and find out exactly what you need to do, but I can say it's not easy.
It's one of those good luck with that.
Especially, like I said, a neighborhood of this age, probably utilities right there require an easement, abandonment. It's a process. probably years, to be honest with you.
Yeah, not great. I think my question was that there was some comment about if you close the alley, that's a problem, and you also want to think that you can, like, is there an order in which you should do it? You know?
Gating the alley is completely easier.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, but the goal is eventually to get that easement. Oh, yeah. Okay,
Okay, I would say if your ultimate goal is to get the easement, you can start with gating the alley. I would assume so.
50,
Yeah.
get that 50% plus one.
Oh, it's big, yeah.
50 plus one. Half plus one. And there's to gate it, there's a lot of different requirements about the fence height. You can't have multi-family on there. There's a pretty decent list of requirements.
Cool. Thank you very much. So just some very quick regular updates. I know you're really not here just to see me, but to see all of our ongoing and new faces. Membership reports are hold pretty steady here, so if somebody here is not a member, go ahead and sign up, right? It's $20 a year. You got great benefits. You have, for one, you can vote, so this will be a more relevant meeting for you. For another, you can request funds from our giving program. We'll have some member-only event opportunities. The dispatch gets mailed to your house. You don't have to go all the way to Sunshine. Borrow and rent items from the tool shed. That's probably the biggest perk that we have. We are members. Treasurer reports. Also holding very steady, if not actually increasing over time. Since home tour being happened a couple of months ago, and that's our biggest fundraiser of the year. So we're looking pretty good there. Giving program, if you haven't heard me say it, you haven't been here. So giving program, we still have money in this fiscal year for people to apply for us, give you money, like reimbursement, for initiating your own events or so like the Oval Park Easter egg hunt back right before Easter, we helped fund that, for example, or we helped a lot with the TNR city chapter release, which Mary will talk about. Do you want to talk about it now or wait for you? Okay. Yeah. So TNR, yes, we still have some money that we do want to allocate to see if other opportunities come up, but otherwise, it can probably go to TNR. But we do want to make sure there's some other opportunities there. But yes, TNR has gone beyond the amount that was originally allocated. That means that we're doing healthy things for our kid population. So, okay. A reminder of who is your current board. Memorize these faces. Some are going to stay. Some are going to roll off. Some are running again. So thank you to the scanning board. There's a lot of effort here. We have Marnie, there's myself, Marissa, Allie, Paula, Laura. We love running this neighborhood. It is a lot of work. Hopefully we make it look easy. It's not always easy, but it is most often fun. So thank you to this whole crew for making everything happen. We have a lot of events this year. What do you think, right? We've got Home for a Street Fair. We have related volunteer dinner happy hour. Couple of food truck Fridays. Monthly community cleanups. We have Loteria. We have Halloween bike ride, Holiday Lights bike ride, Field Day, Tool Shed Tour pancake breakfast, yard sale, happy hours and raffles, honey cup potluck, hunt cup meetup, free stuff swap meet, plus all of these kind of partner events that we help out with by helping with funding or other kinds of supports. Wedding Fest, sports concerts, mural fest, art tour, Easter egg hunt, pool party, we did a Phoenix Art Museum private tour, the Tree Matter Planting Day. We're working with the City of Phoenix all the time. Here's Mile, Merchants Association, and G-Rose. So if you think we're not doing a lot, we are. Look at all this stuff you've had the opportunity to do this year. It's amazing. So thank you all for participating and making this stuff amazing. I'm speaking through. So Loteria was the most recent one. This just happened on April 25th. So really, the game similar to bingo, but there's dancing, there's games, there's food truck, lots of music, and it's a lot of fun. Did anybody have a Loteria this year? Love to see it. Thank you. And thank you for sponsors and all of our artists. If you are an artist, a couple of things. We actually do have the Columbia cards. If you want to copy of your artwork in action, you're welcome to come take dig through and find what has your artwork on and take it home. And the other thing, actually, we promised that artists would be entered into a raffle. So we have this fun deal. No, don't worry, it's going to the website. I can bring it from the website. This Canva's not, it might be smart. Okay, so we entered all of the artists. Some people are on here multiple times because they submitted multiple pieces of art. None of the board members who did a lot of art are eligible, unfortunately. Sorry, folks, but board member's child who produced it, I figured they should absolutely be ended. And past board members are okay. So we're going to do 3 spins, 3 winners.
Cool.
We have 3 different, so each one is the same, but we have 3 $100 gift cards. So we will, so one per hand will do one, not to get $300. Okay. And I don't want to figure out something. Yes. All right, we'll reach out. All right, and our last winner. Are you ready to be So thank you to our artists for spending your time and your talents giving us some art for the video. I don't believe any of these people are here tonight, but that was exciting and good to see our friends. All right, we are done with our Wheel of Fortune there. Okay, so grant money. We brought in a lot of money this year. So Block Watch brought in $14,996. I don't know why they didn't give us the extra 4, but that's all right. We're still grateful. We put out, we have one more issue to come actually, but 4 issues of dispatch with graphic design. We've been working with Joey or Phil Freedom, if you know him as that, with graphic design, printing, and mailing to members. If you see these bulletin boards around, there are 7 that exist in the neighborhood right now. We are working on refurbishing those. We're just getting quotes right now, and that process should start by the end of June because that's when we have to actually have receipts from. So that should kick off pretty soon. We have money for a mural and some yard signs, so we're working for that still. And then we're waiting news on our 2026 to 2027 application, which is for $1 less. But hopefully we will hear back on that soon. Phoenix Office of Arts and Culture grant, we were awarded just over $3,500, which funded our little video event that we just hosted. Actually, we spent $2,157. We also got an additional $946 in sponsorship. We had $400 in sponsors, and then we had a silent auction at the event that brought in just under $550. So if we add all that up and still look at how much money we have together, we could technically host another one if we wanted to. So let's think about that, shall we? And we're waiting news on the grant application for 2027. Look anyway, just we applied for $5,000, which means we could do a bunch of stuff with it. We also applied for a District 4 neighborhood improvement grant up to $5,000. We're waiting news on that. That one we actually have it's about Coronado identity empty, and if you drive along McDowell, I'm not sure if 16th Street is set up with them yet, or 7th, I haven't paid close enough attention when I've been driving on those, but McDowell has a lot of them. But the street lights, the poles have these brackets where you can have those tall banners. And so we're talking about having kind of Coronado identity, Coronado events, banners installed, and at least doing a pilot program the first things at 90 days. So again, this is not approved at this point. And we know there's a whole process. We've gotten the codes, we've talked to the installers and whatnot, so we'll hear back on that. And then lastly, do the 326, the District 4 Letter Block Grant application, another one that's up to $5,000. So that's due at the end of the month, and we're meeting with specifically talking with neighbors like Matthew Kelly in South Coronado here, and then we reached out to go on East Coronado side to see if there's something that we can really assist those areas with grant money. So we're going to see what they think would really benefit those little corners of the neighborhood. So a lot of money came in. We've applied for a lot of money. Would you like to tool shed? JT, would you like to talk about this? I had JT do us a favor.
Alright, yeah, I took a look at our tool shed, data and stuff, like data that we have on the tool shed. And put together some interesting stuff, and it's not memorized by Excel, but we have this in the I think the main thing, calling it tool shed, but it's actually more party rental events business, with tool shed side hustle. That pie chart, you see how it breaks out. Blue part of the pie is anything that is events, so like renting tables, chairs, etc. Red is renting actual equipment. Very active. Like we actually fairly diverse population of people in the neighborhood. We're gonna help our users. Where we have some feedback, get some similar. Anyways, it's kind of like what people are renting. I'd like to request that we consider purchasing a few things for the shed and build it out a little bit more. So a couple things to augment the party business. For example, Bluetooth speakers, system, maybe some lights. And then on the tool side, a few things in there that are not going to use it all. I think there's space and maybe replace it something like a grill bit set, grill moving in. Possibly like electric trimmer, blowers, things like that. I don't think one of them stuff, we don't want to buy it. So I think it's probably one thing, something like that. That stuff's good.
And if you know Brian, our shed tender, he's got some ideas on additional improvements and also what stuff we can get rid of that really specifically in the neighborhood. But also just in general, we do intend to do a better job of marketing what we have so that you know that it exists, right? And so if you enjoy tool shed data, what do you think? Do we like tool shed data? Do we like data? Are we data nerds in here? Like, okay, well, the good news is you're planning for the first time, or at least the first time since I've been around, to put out an annual report by the end of the year so that you can see all the great stuff that we're doing. You can distribute it to any of the leaders out there. There's no real leaders, right? Just kidding. But we do some amazing stuff, and I really want to honor all of the work that our team does. And I think it's great to also have transparency with our constituents, if you will. So we plan to produce that by the end of May. We've already got started on it, but it'll have some great information in there and just some basic info that maybe not everybody has dug into our website and found. So that's coming. We do have a couple of things coming up. If you look at our social media, hopefully you've seen we posted all of these things. Tomorrow is when voting officially starts. You're going to meet the candidates tonight. We've over kind of a long weekend. We're gonna have a kickoff event at TMI, just like have like some people's reserves, so you can come hang out. We're gonna have like challenge cards that'll be your staffing percent, and you can take different pictures of things according to the prompts on your challenge card, and then submit them for like wonderful prizes. So I think that should be really fun. Hopefully, we've given people enough time to explore throughout the weekend. If you want to like come to TMI, find a buddy to maybe do the hunt with them. But yeah, we'll have like the challenge card available online, and then also a physical copy if that's what you prefer. And then we'll also have more ways to submit your photographs at the end. But it should be fun. We're trying it out. So yeah, awesome. We have one more food truck Friday coming up here at the end of the month, May 29th, 6:30 to 8:30. I haven't heard specifically which food trucks will be there, but keep your eye on our socials and whatnot for that. Google Card. Yes, Google Card. Great. So those are what's coming up. Now, the reason you're all here probably, meet your CNA board candidates. So, just another little refresh. You can hear me 4 slides ago. Important dates. Voting is open the 8th to the 13th. So that will be in our mind. You're gonna get an email. It's already scheduled to go out tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. It'll have kind of bios for everybody in case you need a little refresher. And it'll have a link to go vote. It's on the webpage. Very easy. You're gonna click 9 little radial buttons for who you're gonna vote for and hit submit, and that's all you have to do. If you're part of the 2-person bundle or the rare 4-person bundle for memberships, make sure that your second or third and fourth people are actually like activated, because that means that they can get the email and vote as well. But you're gonna want to do that tonight, just to send them an email by tomorrow morning. So technically, if you are a 2-person household, both of you, or like a two-member bundle, there we go. So our positions: president, vice president, treasurer, secretary are the 4 officers, and then we have 5 director positions that are kept at large. And without further ado, we're going to go alphabetically by first name, starting with our directors. So, hi guys, I'm Allie City. I will let you read the bullet points if you have that good eyesight. Well, yeah. So I've been in the neighborhood for just over 7 years now, and I've been on the board for the last 2. I would say that there are 3 things that I'm especially proud of accomplishing in the last 2 years. So the first year I was a director, and I really hit social media hard 2 years ago, and I felt like it really set a new precedent for the content that we're putting together and trying to share out with the neighborhood. This last year, I would say that Laura Hahn really took that over, ran with it, built it up even more so. So I love where it's going, and hopefully you're going to see more of that from us this next year. Secondly, and also I pushed for reusable banners. Hopefully you've seen them at our events. We're getting better about bringing them and hanging them up. So it just, again, with the brand identity, hopefully people know how much we're actually doing around the neighborhood. So next, for the last 2 years, I have worked with Laura Martizer, who is an exceptional artist in the neighborhood, and some other people. Abby, Loki Matthew was also integral in helping out with the art tour. So I haven't cleared it with her, but hopefully that's on the agenda again, something that I know I really love doing. And third, this last year as the treasurer, I was pushing for lowering the cost for our vendors to participate in home tour. I really want to make this event accessible to everyone who lives in the neighborhood. So we lowered prices for vendors, and we also lowered prices for our early bird tickets, which we did sell more of this year. I still think we can iterate on that. There's a lot of smart ideas, like all of the raffles and things like that, where we could supplement some of that money if we're not bringing it in that other way. So then I started thinking, what would it be that I'd love to focus on this next year as a director? I am personally on this little journey of trying to decrease my water usage. And what that looks like right now is I'm trying to figure out how to convert my lawn into xeriscape. I figure since I'm already going through it, and it's not like I have a budget to throw this, like it's going to be figuring like so we can encourage other people in the neighborhood, or if people are interested, like obviously there's gotta be an appetite for this, and I can like shove it on people, but I would love to do that. And part of it, I really like I'm throwing around these ideas about having like a pay it forward plan kind of program where I want to get like real weird about propagating other plants. And then, like, once you have one, you give it to your neighbor, they also get to propagate it, and then 10 years from now, we live in the botanical garden. So, if that sounds interesting, then please vote for me for one of the director positions. Thank you. Go crowd, sound. Oh, I'm gonna rewind this, just because it's a big time. So we did hear that, and it's very quiet. Just a little recap. So he and his partner, quite new to the neighborhood, about a year. They got involved really quickly, and one thing that I just love about the story is like they had attended the Coronado art crawl. They talked to Carissa, signed up as members right away, invited them like, okay, come to our planning committee meeting tomorrow morning.
You should come on Sunday, and it's like, we'll never see them again, right?
They kind of started. So, and you're wearing our new Coronado shirt tonight. He actually designed that shirt. So just so you got, if you didn't hear that, yeah. We still have them for purchase. Oh yeah, also you can buy them if you haven't already. All right, and then here, all right. Here, wow, look at that corporate headshot. So you can tell I just retired after 35 years in tech and moved just 2 months ago to Phoenix from Boston after 20 years in Seattle. So what I have to offer you is enthusiasm. I want to get involved. Experience. So I've been a CMO, I've been CEO, I've been on corporate boards, I'm on a nonprofit board right now. I've also been treasurer of a community association in the past. And probably most importantly, I have time. I am not working. I am working on my house as a new project, and regardless of whether it's this position as a member of your board or just an active member and volunteer, I'm really excited to build community. I moved here to be on the street from
my daughter, who's also a member and lives in the neighborhood, and hopefully I'll get her vote. She bought her first home, and so I get to see her all the time, and I'm looking to, really get to know a lot of folks and enjoy my time in Coronado. So thank you.
Chris?
Hey y'all. I actually moved to Coronado in 2014. But for the first 7 years, I really wasn't involved in the community at all. I was just, honestly, just trying to make a living. But my background, I was running Coronado Coffee Lab, and in Portland before that, I had my own coffee shop. What I learned in coffee is kind of like just translated in my whole life, which is coffee shops are just like third spaces, community spaces. And the power of what a community space becomes in a coffee shop, I think watching this community and just the last year being more involved with the neighborhood association and now that professionally, I'm a realtor, but just seeing what this community has done over the past year with all the events that she reviewed earlier, I was just hyper inspired to. It's like a coffee shop on crack, really. It's just like to see what you guys can do, the money you can raise, and so that's just really inspired me because through the coffee shop, I do nonprofit events to raise money, and we're raising $2,000-3,000 at a time. And I think through this community, we can really elevate things that we decided we would do together. So, as a director, I want to just kind of come in and be learning, meeting the community, understanding what people want, and then hopefully in time I'm more involved and understand how the workings of like where we can, I guess, make the most impact. So that's what I'm inspired to do. I have a lot of experience in community building, and I'm totally down to just go out and like knock on doors. I really want to get people more involved. The attendance here tonight is amazing. Not every meeting, not every coming meetings, but for me it's like I want to get people showing up to meetings, I want to get people showing up to events. Really whatever it takes to do that, because I think involvement is just like the first step. I don't know what that says. I wrote that.
Hello. I've been on the board for 2 years. I'm running for my third position. I moved into Coronado in 2018. I live on 11th Street between Oak and Monte Vista. It's a vibrant street. I don't know, moving to Coronado kind of transitioned my life. It pivoted me in a way that I think was appropriate at the time. So anybody coming into this neighborhood that's new, or anybody that's even been here for a while and hasn't gotten like a new perspective, I think that this board is really set up right now to move all of that forward and still keep all of the things that make this neighborhood so absolutely unique and special. I moved to Arizona in 2006. I'm a healthcare provider. As these guys all know, it's a great group here. You guys don't realize how much work that goes into all of this. I kind of see myself as just kind of filling holes sometimes, but doing what I can. But I've got the energy, I've got the interest, I've got the passion. I'm kind of a vaccine kind of person. I see what needs to be done and kind of step in. But man, getting involved with this community at this level and also getting involved with these folks will really existentially just kind of give you a new purpose in your neighborhood and your community, at a level that, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe. So it's hard to follow these guys, but hey, we haven't had this much interest since I started, and so I think that's great, and look at what was done. So yeah.
Okay, hello everyone. That's my professional headshot there. I recognize a lot of faces here. I'm sure some of you recognize me. Some of you have probably seen me on the message board. I like to be very involved. I'm somewhat opinionated, but I'm always welcome to everyone else's opinions, and I love to talk about it. I moved here in 2022 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I lived in actual Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. And I gotta say, we have something special here. I've never seen community like that, other than just on TV for a TV show. It's something that, really stands out to me. I refuse to ever move out of this neighborhood as long as I live in Phoenix. And Phoenix was my dream for 15 years. So I moved into my spot blind luck, had no idea anything about where I was moving, and I just really struck a gold mine. I have a background in web design, SEO, Google AI optimization, so I really think that those are some skills that I can help bring to the table here and really make sure that we have the visibility that, that's not just in the neighborhood, but really make sure that the rest of the communities kind of know what we're doing, and really reach the rest of the neighborhood, because I think there's definitely a section of the neighborhood that has no idea about the tool shed or the CNA or a lot of the events that we do or the message board. I think that we're still missing a group, and I think that there's a way we can capture that and really make us discoverable. I'm also really passionate about helping all the feral cats in the neighborhood, so that's a big thing for me. You will often see me out looking for a cat. And yeah, so I just would love to be more involved. I'm really excited to be here, and thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Paula. I've been resident here since early last year, and it's been really just honestly a real pleasure getting to know everyone over the last year. I have loved feeling so welcomed by the community and getting back through human character. This year I really wanted to focus on kind of lower key events like Coronado Happy Hour, which we did a couple of times. It was pretty successful. Just want to continue doing that in the future. Home tour, spoke out as we all did. And one thing I really did care about this year and continue in the future is really thinking about how to make our events inclusive and accessible, like we did at CNA Field Day, which is great for people who are athletic and sporty, but also was a beautiful day. So I wanted to make sure that people who maybe they're disabled or not athletic same time or whatever, felt like they could come and still enjoy a beautiful day in the outdoors and neighbors. So we did an art tent with camp crafts for camp vibes and inclusivity. I also pitched in with Laura, even though she's been our social media chief. I was her underling in a great way. And yeah, my day job is a civil rights lawyer, so sometimes I do pitch when we need a contract reviewed or a liability waiver, whatever, and I'm always happy to do that. Yeah, I just would love to be a director again and build on momentum and really continue to give back to the community, focusing again on inclusivity, welcoming more people to our events, focusing on arts
emotional support drink. I am new to the neighborhood. I literally just closed on my house a couple of months ago. Arizona native. I lived here my whole life except for 1 year up in Vancouver, Washington, but came back down. I used to say I love my old neighborhood. I'm never gonna leave it. Coming from Peoria, and then one day, like I realized, no, plot twist. I'm gonna move somewhere else, and I've always wanted to live in historic Coronado, and I got my dream home, and I'm really excited because I've come across nothing but kind, friendly people. It's completely the opposite of my old neighborhood that I said I would never ever leave. I literally lived next to someone that was referred to me as the one that keeps playing the damn Led Zeppelin and won't turn it down. So it's nice to be in a neighborhood where we've got art, we have cute pets. Every time I turn around, people walking around, smiling, waving, just engaging in conversation. And a little about me, my background is in education. I've taught 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade in the same school for 19 years. So I'm someone that is very much loyal to a brand, person, place, or thing. I call my students my ducklings. I have experience in being a team lead. I serve on an educational board with the state of Arizona. I have done a lot of different initiatives with my campus in terms of literacy and sports, like making color runs and try to thing on our campus, health initiatives. So as someone that is very new to the neighborhood, I'm just looking to get my feet wet, continue to meet people, support the initiatives of the neighborhood, and just join in the fun, basically. So thank you. All right, that is all of our director candidates, and if you have been counting along, we actually currently just have 5 director spots on the board, and we had 8 friends introduce themselves tonight. But we want to hold on to all of you because I'm thrilled by every single one of you. So I hope somehow we were able to all elected, but I don't know how to do that through the bylaws. So we're going to figure out a way to keep everybody involved. And now our officer candidates. Hello. I need a new picture. Okay. So I did what a lot of you have been mentioning. I moved in January of 2024, and I decided, hey, let's join the board right away and meet people and get experience and do things. I'm also a teacher by trade, but moved on to some other things lately. So the appeal, that community feel, getting involved, organizing, working with people, all of the like. So for this next year, I've been on the board for the past 2 years, but running for secretary. Take notes as I am today for our current secretary. I think that, especially as a teacher for high school, you don't remember things, reminders. I think that is definitely something we can benefit from as the neighborhood. I'll be honest, even our own events, I often have to ask, is that Friday? You know, the more that we can with social media, email, and I still think the flyers, I mean, you're, you know, in Prof, while you're waiting in line, look at things that's a great idea. We can pass things out, there are food trucks and amazing things to distribute. So some of the ideas on that. But really, after the past 2 years, what I have found that is most integral for this board is time. And most of us are still working full-time jobs, but I have time, and I'm willing to give that free time. I will show up to the events early. I am happy to help people to set up, to spend time looking at all the Phoenix permit rules. You know, those are the kinds of things that it does kind of get away, especially for things and other events that are planned. But I'm happy to do it, and it's really lovely to be a part of all of these things. So, kind of personal goals.
Hi everyone, JC Stinson, nice to meet you. Been a Coronado resident since 2021, moved here from New York City. Depending on the mood I'm in, I'm currently retired, on sabbatical, recently rage quit, kind of depends on my mood, but I'm a former management consultant and have like some sales experience and everything. So the very first thing I did when I left my previous job was I purchased a personal version of Microsoft Excel. Big numbers guy, I think about numbers a lot, so it was the very first purchase I made as a newly free person. I've been kind of working the back end. Coronado worked a little bit on Kirsten having runs numbers in the tool shed. I kind of did that stuff in the back end finally now, but they're going to make it more official this year if you let me. I want to pursue like two things. Basically, I think the neighbor association is in great shape in a lot of ways, but I do think we run the risk of what I call getting hit by a bus syndrome, where if somebody disappeared from the board, there's a lot of institutional knowledge, particularly the numbers, that could get lost. So I want to do kind of like a comprehensive audit of our books and make it very transparent for people so they can understand where it comes in, where it goes. It can get passed on to the next generation of leaders in the future, very easy, transparent. So I want to do that as kind of like one project. And then I'm also, speaking of equity and inclusion, take a look at our membership structure on how that's protected and figure out a way to see if there's a way for us to make kind of membership a lot easier. And I know it's $20 a year, but also more affordable depending on your situation. So a couple things I'd like to look at. And yeah, I love dogs and sweet potato, which is really interesting on the township.
Hi, I'm Laura. I spoke earlier. So I've been on the board for a year. I've been in Coronado since 2021. And then before I was part of the board, and this is something that all of our candidates today should think about, I ran a committee. So it was like CNA adjacent. But that's where we started doing all of our monthly cleanups and things like that. So trying to do more of that community engagement giving back. So something to consider that like committees might be a good idea for you. I am, super enthusiastic about helping people make their Coronado movies come true for like different events. So the photo scavenger hunt that we're gonna do this month, that was someone's idea. Like it was something that they brought to me. We're like, it would be cool if, and then we cultivate that into reality now. So it's something that we actually do. So I really like doing that, like giving people the support to like make those events, make those ideas real, and then also using our social media and all of our different communication channels to like get the word out that these things are happening. So if you're looking at someone's Instagram, that's usually me like in the middle of the night posting things. I'm usually sending you emails that like might be annoying or helpful. I really want to make sure that everyone feels engaged in it. I don't know what else I said about my goals. Yeah, pretty much that. So yeah. Well, last but not least, is me. Before ranks, after ranks. So I have been a Coronado resident since early 2022 with my husband Nick here. We have 3 pups. We live over on 15th Street, further down by Richmond Park. As soon as we moved in, like kind of just tuck and rolled out moving truck and was like, how can I join? So I've been a director, I've been secretary, I've been vice president, I've been president, and I'm running for president again. I love this organization. This is how I found all of my neighborhood friends, either directly through CNA board members or tangentially or through people coming to these meetings or our events. And so I know the power of an organization like this because it changed my life, right? So I've really worked on trying to strengthen some of the systems that we use. I think, we kind of ebbed and flowed as an organization, and I have just a 4-year history, and so I don't know all of it, but I think, we really, with the help of Becky, previous boards, built back up, and now we're ready to start rolling and pushing forward in many ways. So having stronger systems like task management, project management, having stronger systems like JT talked about with our finances, having greater transparency so you understand what your elected representatives and what your membership dollars are doing for you. Also worked this past year, I met with our other kind of historic neighborhood counterparts, so with Willow, Effie Story, with Roosevelt, and Ponto Palmcroft, Luther Square, all of those groups, and to start and share resources and ideas, and specifically mostly around home tour at the time, but it's really interesting to see how other neighborhood organizations are structured, and I think there's a lot to learn from that as well. And then my other favorite pet project, 2 years ago, we brought a little video named Coronado to the neighborhood. It was came from, I had been at the Desert Botanical Garden a couple of times, and I just thought it fits perfectly for our neighborhood, and we can customize it. So that's been our pet project over the last 3 years, and I hope to keep bringing it back. Thank you. Goals for the board: continue to improve how we operate internally, how we communicate with all of you, our members, our neighbors, our businesses. Expand our efforts to really celebrate this Coronado identity. I think you really get the sense of the identity internally, but I think there's a lot more external celebration that we can be doing. So mentioning the street pole banners, murals that are really identified this is Coronado. You should feel that you're here, right? Expand effort, and just getting more people plugged in and involved. Getting more committees. We have been such a scrappy group for 4 years, and it's such a great group of hard workers. I don't want to push people too far to where they just don't want to get involved again. I'd rather hold on to people for a long time by spreading that word out among other passionate people. So we were very fortunate to have quite a few new people engaged in our home tour committee this past year. We've been fortunate, Laura with the Community Action Committee, when she started getting involved. And I think there are a lot of other ways that we can engage neighbors outside of your elected board. So having a dispatch committee, people an editorial committee can help us really put that together. Because it's us and Joey who put those together too. And so if you already saw our list of stuff, we're pretty busy. But there's a lot of other opportunities. Clara, who's not here tonight, she's rolling off the board, but she wants to start a fun committee and essentially use that to do food truck Fridays and other kind of fun, random things that pop up. And so I think that's great inspiration to empower all of you and go tell your friends. But I think this organization can be a lot bigger than just those faces that you're seeing tonight and who you see in the room even. So that's my platform. Hopefully you'll vote for me. And that is pretty much all we have tonight. So again, when are we voting?
Tomorrow.
And it starts through the 13th. Yes, you got a week, all week. You only get to vote once. Again, we do have contested elections, so your vote matters. Your votes matter, right?
Every vote counts.
What's that?
Every vote counts.
Every vote counts. It really does. Who wants to guess about how? So our membership is about 300, 350, somewhere around there. Who wants to guess how many people voted in our election last year?
50.
85. It was 30 seconds. We can do better. So even if just
And that's the 9 of us got to.
right. Yes. So I would love to encourage all of you in this room who are eligible to vote to please do it. And we do things that hopefully matter for you and your quality of life here, and therefore you should get to choose who is helping make those decisions. So vote for us. All right. Does anybody have any questions or anything you just want to get off your chest? We also have Mary here who would like to talk about some of her efforts.
Last month, I told you about a situation in our neighborhood with a colony of cats. It's a little different than the regular cat colony because it was kind of inside, but the person who owned the place sold it, and it was demolished. Now we have the cats, and it's not the regular cat colony where you can, cat neuter, replace. You try to find new homes for these cats. And I wanted to give you a bit of an update. So far, we have 3 cats that have their forever home. What is in my house? We have 3 trapped and neutered in the last couple weeks, so this some that way. A couple are missing. They're still regular feeding. I was surprised, but Coronado is very neighborhood. But I thought there were only a couple of us that were taking care of cats. There's at least 9 people I know that are feeding them, taking care of them. So sometimes you can't have a cat if you're allergic or I know in my house I know this is for the trap and neuter, but I have 1,000 square feet, I have 4 cats, a dog, and a bird. you have to have a good things too. But if anybody has somebody who would be a good home or a conserving cat, please let me know. I have one in particular. His name is Hoover after the name of the street that he was on. He is a really cool cat. He's red and white. He's maybe 2 years old. He's very active. He's followed my dog. Some people request a cat that gets along with dogs, and we have a couple that I know are really good with dogs. So if you have a cat that you would like to join your household, become part of your family, please let me know.
Any questions? Something to celebrate? Things to complain about?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Trying to meetings, my mind is a little crazy, but my name's Heather, and I'm the woman that owns the fabulous 7 homes on 11th Street that we're saving. So we're super excited about that. We're so excited to be in Coronado, and we're trying to create something amazing. And what I've been telling people is, we're not trying to create something here. We're just trying to amplify what's already here. It's such a cool neighborhood. So my construction team, everybody from Friday on there, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Ask me anything. We want to be great neighbors. We really look forward to saving the homes and creating. If you guys have fantasies of like what you might want there, we've got some good feedback on people. All right. Do you? All right. So, but we're absolutely stop by anytime. We're really excited to have you here. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Does everybody know what's going on? Yeah. We've gotten a lot of good press. We were on the front cover of the Republic on Monday, and so there's 7 homes. There's 9 buildings on the property, and we're saving all of them. And we're because of the weird zoning thing that happened when it was going to be an apartment, we started a business. So the whole property is going to be a wellness enclave. So the homes are still going to be for people to spend the night, that's what they're zoned for, but we're going to do all kinds of other cool things. So yoga and meditation and grounding and it's going to be open to the neighborhood. So it's not a closed off space. We love ideas and suggestions. We're able to put the license on it, so that's a big one. And we're really, really, really local. So everything that we're doing here will only utilize the local businesses. So we'd love to get more Coronado people involved. I know that there are businesses here. And I just met my good friend Mike Stenberg, who's on Skateboard 8, and he's doing a lot of cool merch. But we just met with an artist, and we're going to put together a mural party, and we're going to get live, and we're going to do full-size murals and put it all along that not so fabulous construction fencing, so it can look attractive. And so we're here. It's on 11th Street, just north of McDowell, so between McDowell and Coronado. And they're so cool. We're built between 1917 and 28, and we know like everyone who they were and what they were, what they did for a living, and we're really wanting to tell stories.
Heather, have they said what they're gonna do with that old surgery center yet?
I am not at liberty to say, but I do know.
Okay.
And
Is it gonna be palatable for us?
I'm going to tell you that I'm going to advocate for this neighborhood and make sure it is. So, absolutely.
And will you share with us why sometimes there's a lot of police cars around?
Yes. So here's the thing. I try to find creative ways to be of service to the community. And I also own an event venue called Warehouse 215. And just as an example, when I was doing a remodel there, I called Maricopa County Health Services and offered it for COVID vaccines, and they didn't need it, but then they called me 2 months later, and we opened our doors, and we did a monthly class vaccine event. We vaccinated 5,000 Canadians. So here, the property, we spent tens of thousands of dollars doing full remediation in these homes. So if people think you can just close the door and it's fine, that's not the case. And all of the systems in these homes are broken. So no power, there's not a single piece of copper on that property. All the air conditioners are And meanwhile, I need to learn a business before I can create an infrastructure. So I'm like in the learning phase of wellness, and it's like a little block of foam. So, I call all the first responders that I know and call the fire department and just offer it for training. So we've had like canine units come at night and do the dogs in the house, and we had this neighborhood enforcement team do like a 15-hour kind of training that was really neat. The Phoenix fire is going to come and actually learn about construction so that their fire departments know what construction of these old homes are. So we put signs up because I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Here. But yeah, we're just trying to be of service. And also, the ASU Film School contacted me, and we've now let 2 capstone projects be filmed in our home. So yeah, we're really open, to being of service to the community. And so if you guys have creative ideas, we've got a long construction timeline. We're going to be probably about 2 years before we're able to be open. There's a lot of infrastructure to do. But yeah, we're just really excited to be here at such a cool neighborhood. I mean, this is like what people aspire to be.
Is it your background
Tuesdays and Thursdays, yeah. 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 And I also, I own a cigar business. It's my chosen vice. And we have a basement and I'm turning it into a Oh, cigar. Yeah, we got a big board for the grant. They get $500,000. Yeah, so we were really, really excited about that.
Other questions or comments or good news? All right. Well, thank you, everybody. If you're a candidate, Nick and I are gonna go grab food. We're hungry, so if anyone wants to come and just hang out, and we'll get to know each other better. Or really anybody, if you're a neighbor, not a neighbor. But thank you, everybody. Thank you.